You're really rizzing me off right now.
Rizz off, liberal.
Drink prime.
Drink prime. That's a good insult.
I stole it from Anisa. She said that.
Oh, really? Drink prime.
Drink prime and Rizz off.
Nice. Okay, cool. By the way,
Ohio
we
Rizz.
started.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Oh,
You weren't able to
shit.
clench your jaw and have good posture.
No, wait, here.
Damn. Gulp.
Yeah, to get really
Wait,
good...
we started gulp?
To get good mewing results, you gotta undulate your head and swallow 5 times.
No Chick-fil-A sauce?
Oh, I said that recently.
When, too?
When I was checking out at Costco, I was getting my prescription, and they don't take Amex. And I said, "No Amex." It was quite cringe.
Did you do the head?
I
thrust?
didn't, but yeah, in that moment, I was like, "Should I do it again for emphasis?"
With the head?
Yeah, with the head.
Yeah, Ian got mad at the self-checkout woman at Costco because
Hey,
he wanted
I'm
Danishes.
self-checking out. I'm self-checking out. I don't need a fucking chaperone
Well,
to self-check out.
To be fair, like, we picked up the package of Danishes, okay? Pack of 4. Took it to the self-checkout, went to go check it. The lady comes, grabs them. She goes, no, you can't buy, you have to buy 2. And we were like, what? You have to buy 2? She goes, they're packs of 4. They come as 8. You have to buy 2 to get them for that price. And we were like, well, can we buy 1 for that price? Because we're like, there's like 2 of us. And she's like, they freeze really well. And I was like, look, lady, like and Ian's like, just take them. Just take them. And the poor lady.
Yeah. I realized something about myself, though. After that like interaction, I realized it took a while of pondering to realize that I get mad when I feel like dumb or like stupid in that moment. It's happened a couple times recently, and this was the realization moment where I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
She said, you need 2 of them," and I'm like, "Damn!" Like I wish I had known that. Basically,
Yeah.
I was
'cause you wouldn't have
surprised by
grabbed-
it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't believe like she could have just let us scan it.
I know. Just let us fucking take the 4 for that.
I think
price.
she felt bad because it's like,
Yeah.
hey, if you scan this, you're not going to get the full value. But we were fine with that.
Yeah. I mean,
We're Costco newbies, okay? So don't tell us that that's just how it is.
we went there because Ian needed to pick up his prescription, and everywhere else it was like sold out. So
By the way, guys, I'm an Adderall head now.
true. Yeah.
Gulp.
Gulp. Gulp is right. So I got diagnosed with ADHD professionally from a licensed professional psychiatrist. And yeah, I scored fucking like 100 out of 100.
Well, he said after the first session he knew that you had ADHD, but after the second session he really knew.
You really know. Yeah.
That's because I helped take the notes for the second one.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I had like a whole... After the first session, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what this is. It's such like a vague diagnosis, it feels like.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like autism and some of these other ones where it's like, it's described based on like kind of, what would you call that? Like, like behavioral things? Like...
It's subjective.
Yeah.
And it's like on a spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
which makes it even more hard. It's not like it's
Right.
binary.
Yeah. So it's really tricky. I tried to write notes for all the things that were like just bothersome to me throughout the day, throughout the week. And I got a pretty like sizable list by the end of it. And yeah, it was, I think it was the icing on the cake when I came back in for my second session. And yeah, it's, I've taken the medication for 2 days now, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean, you're already way more efficient than you've been for the past like 2 years.
Yeah, it's so fucked up to think like how I've been operating.
Yeah.
I've been operating like fucking, I don't know if it's fair to say like first gear, but it hasn't been good.
No, I mean, so what the psychiatrist said to you is that, you know, for a lot of people, you can function up to a point and then there comes a time where there's like too much being stacked on and you kind of just implode.
Yeah.
And that, I think, happened for you like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You like hit your limit of like what you could handle and then you kind of imploded.
Yeah.
And when people talk about like your upload schedule and stuff and like complain about that, like that's like, after seeing you work today and last night, like I don't think that's going to be an issue anymore. Your upload schedule, which is like pretty exciting. I mean, you did so much. You like finished editing and uploading the Max and Chad video last night. And then this morning you were like actually editing the opening for your new video. And that's like, I've never seen you do that
I mean, not only that, but I was fucking, you know, I reorganized this whole room.
Yeah.
You guys can't see it on the even the wide. I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of a rug type thing there. But yeah, everything's switched up in here. And yeah, I'm absolutely fucking amazed.
Yeah.
At the amount of like functioning that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's really cool to see. I mean, it was sad because you were so anxious before doing it. Like, I think you thought it wasn't going to do anything for you.
Yeah. Well, it's depressing to think, like, as you're leading into it, like, oh, like, if things don't change, like, this is going to be a fucking uphill battle, and it ain't going to get easier.
Well, because you admitted to yourself already that there was a problem. So if you admitted to yourself that there's a problem and you need help, and then you get the help and it doesn't help, it's like you've just admitted that you have a problem with no solution, which is scary.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, I'm feeling really optimistic, which is cool.
I'm very optimistic.
Yeah, that's sick. I love that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like, it's weird. It's kind of feels like the perfect solution because it doesn't feel like it's affecting so far much of anything else. Like my appetite's good. It's one of those things where it's not, you don't have to always have it in your system. Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty low dose, right?
Yeah.
So
5 milligrams.
Yeah, I think it's like,
I don't know if that's low dose or not.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
But
if you're an expert in the comments, let me know if that is a low dose.
He said that he was gonna, you know, if you needed more or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so I imagine it's on the lower end.
It's always dependent on, I guess, like what you're feeling, and I feel very normal.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing in this case.
Yeah, I'm shocked that you were able to eat, because the one time that I took Adderall, anytime I tried to put food near my mouth, I got repulsed. Man. So I thought that was going to happen to you, but it didn't. So I think you should explain to people, though, the difference, because you didn't really realize the difference until it started wearing off.
Right. No, that's a really good point. It's so fucking, a lot of the things are like difficult to put into words.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know, a lot of it's just not even things that I would consider as abnormal until you experience it. So like my head would constantly be filled with like daydreaming, thinking about things, thinking about like disconnected things while I'm talking to people. That's
insane to me. I like have such a hard time.
Yeah.
Like imagining what that's like. And it's so funny because I have been in relationships with people when I was young, like my high school relationship, the guy I was dating was like diagnosed ADHD. And so many of the things that you do, he would do when he wasn't on his, he was on Ritalin.
Yeah. And
for the past, how long has it been? 6 years. I've been like, Ian, I think you have ADHD. And Ian's been like, no, I'm not putting in the work, which makes me really sad, because that seems to be a theme of people who get diagnosed with ADHD as adults. Is like, they just assume that they're lazy and that they could change it at any like moment. Because you've never had the other option. You've never known what it's like to not have that noise.
Yeah, and I think like in the past, like I guess maybe here's the difference is because I think your life circumstances and what's like moving around in your brain at any given time like changes whether or not it's like necessary for you. So like me thinking about early YouTube and me like putting out videos really regularly, I was like in college with not a lot of classes.
Yeah.
It was like fucking 2 or 3 classes. So
Yeah.
very part-time.
Yeah.
And just doing YouTube.
Yeah.
That was the extent of my responsibilities. And I was like, hey, I fucking got this. I didn't think about it in the terms of like, oh, this is very little that I have to do. So when I aged and I added more and more responsibility, I have a partner, I have dogs that I have to look after.
You ran an event.
Yeah, running events, running multiple channels. It's like, there reaches a certain point where you're like, oh shit, like I'm drowning.
Yeah.
And this is like too much information in my head to
So,
fucking
Basically,
operate.
when you were in college and you had just the YouTube channel, you had 2 guys yelling in your head. Now you have like 50 guys yelling in your head.
Yeah.
Basically, at the same time,
Right.
all demanding the same amount of like attention, and you just can't basically put your attention where it needs to go
Yeah.
because there's too many options that are constantly in your head.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, for me, that's like I don't know if it's because obviously it's a spectrum and people are dealing with different things. Like the psychiatrist was talking about just the premise of like almost like physical distractions. And I never really felt like I was physically distracted too much, but it's hard because obviously I've just been doing the things that you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Like have your office as an office.
Yeah.
Where there aren't other things to like interrupt
Well,
you, right?
Let me give you an example.
It makes
though.
it harder, I think, to acknowledge that you are prone to being distracted.
I think it's also just harder because you're in your body. Because like when
Right.
Michael Briggs would coach you,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of times like mid conversation you would like look at something else,
Yeah.
you would be somewhere else, and he would like. Michael's so funny because you would do that shit and he would just physically move to where you were.
We're looking.
Yeah. He would do it all the time. And Michael's a very active guy. He's moving all
Yeah.
the time. So I don't know if you've noticed, but like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you would like look somewhere else or like somebody was talking or
Oh
doing something.
man.
And Michael would just
I didn't
like,
even know
reposition-
that. Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was very funny. But, and, I have noticed also, like, when we're going on walks or doing things, like, you will stare and look at things that, like, are just kind of off in the distance. You will give it your full attention for, like, a second or whatever,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, obviously, it's a spectrum. Like, it's not like it, ruins your...
Yeah. It's not like if
Day.
you do this, you definitely
Yeah.
It's
But it was there for sure.
yeah. Man. It's fucking crazy. I'm very excited to see how other aspects of my life, because we just thought about that boxing thing today.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait a minute. When I had to do like combinations in boxing, like I couldn't fucking do it to save my life.
Yeah, because your
Like,
brain
anything more than like a like 5-punch combination was maybe my limit.
Yeah.
As soon as like Michael wanted me to like catch a punch and then also do an additional like 3, I'm like, I'm fucked. I can't. keep
Even the
track of
fight.
this.
I feel like the fight,
Yeah.
like you can't be in the zone if you have like a million things in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And, like when you were fighting both Dr. Mike and Wasabi, because like for me, when I'm in a sport, especially highly competitive, it's tunnel vision.
Yeah.
The only thing you're thinking about is
I mean, yeah, I guess it's weird though, because like I didn't feel physically distracted in those moments. Neither did I feel that way when I was sparring.
yeah, but in your head, the noise. Was there a lot of noise when you
I
were
don't
fighting?
know. I
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily say there was a lot of noise, but there certainly wasn't a lot of like focus.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a All right, now I'm gonna try one of these. All right, smooth move, bucko.
Yeah.
There wasn't any type of like narrative or like intensity on like what's happening. It's just
Yeah.
like, I'm doing this and I'll do the things that I was taught to do roughly.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's exciting. I don't know. I'm excited to see what it's like when I'm driving.
Yeah, because we do the road trip tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's been very shocking in all of these little day-to-day like fucking random things, tasks around the house where it's just like, oh shit. I definitely wouldn't have been I don't know, paying attention to what the dog's chewing on.
What the dog doing?
Yeah.
I feel like you can definitely tell. I'm fucking so uncomfortable in this shirt.
Are you?
I just feel like I look
It's a
like
nice shirt. I love it.
I look like a little pudgy lad.
You don't look like a pudgy lad. You can be a little berries and cream. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I'm fine with being berries and cream. It's just, I just feel like this leaves
A lot to be desired.
little to the imagination.
Oh, yeah. What do you
know?
think? You're bloated?
Fat.
She's bloated.
I think I'm fat as fuck, boy.
Yeah. No, I think you're fat as fuck.
No, it's supposed to be a Keemstar reference.
Oh, no,
just
I
took
know,
the-
I know.
okay,
I
took
like
the
it.
S out.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
Who's that? Oh, he's this really cool dude. He covers the news.
Oh, I gotta check him out.
Yeah. That's great.
We both missed Dane's skirt joke last podcast.
Right. What was the joke? Can you remind me?
Because rappers go skirt.
But like, was it
I was talking
like a
about
double entendre?
Skirts being really popular.
Oh, like in historically, because we're talking about
Historic, yeah.
loincloths and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm. You guys made my day. I'm glad you noticed it, even though it was like later.
No, I only noticed it because the comments picked it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were like 3 comments. They're like, "Oh man, you guys did Dane dirty."
Yeah.
that was an awesome joke.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, my brain doesn't work that way. So because Ian got diagnosed with ADHD, we don't have the money right now because I have to. I had to basically refill my mouth with fake teeth and pull out some of my teeth, and that's very expensive. But at some point, I do want to see if I have autism because I feel like I always date men with ADHD. I was like, man, the one time I'm not dating
Yeah.
a guy with ADHD, and you have ADHD, and now I'm wondering because I don't have ADHD, but now I'm wondering.
maybe this is what it is. Maybe
I just have a fetish.
every woman with autism
Yeah.
like wants their partner to have ADHD, so they tell them to go, you need to go to therapy. I think you might have ADHD. And eventually they get officially diagnosed.
To be fair, they had ADHD before I dated them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't give
Right,
it to them
right.
like a venereal disease.
Oh, that's a funny premise. I like that for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Some quirky girl who's going around dating different men and like forcing them to get on ADHD medication.
For fun,
Yeah.
because it's her fetish.
Yeah. She's just kind of sick. Sick in the head.
I have autism runs in my family, and I think I have it. To be honest, I'm like 95% sure
Yeah.
that I have it.
Well,
Like,
we'll find
on the
out.
spectrum,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
we'll
it's
find
more
out.
likely that it's OCD.
I mean, no, I definitely have OCD, but people with autism are more likely to have OCD.
Oh, okay. So you think there's some overlap?
Yeah, it happens pretty often,
Okay.
which is kind of interesting. But who knows? I don't know. I think that there's just a lot of things that I resonate with me, and 2 of my best friends are autistic. So I don't know. I sniff them out, sniff autistic women out. So
Same.
either I'm just really into autistic women, or I am also autistic.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder.
Diagnosed autistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like probably the person who I relate to the most
Uh-huh.
is Han, our community manager,
Yeah.
and she's autistic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Shout out to Han.
Yeah. True. True.
We love Han.
I was just thinking of Dax, and I just inadvertently said true two times.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but Dax isn't fucking diagnosed with anything. I always suspected that he might be have some flavor of autism, but when you get into talking, he's like like asking more personal questions. He seems like a very neurotypical person when you get down to it.
I mean,
very interesting.
I feel like this is kind of my attitude with it is like people know better than anyone else what they have going on in their brain.
Right.
If someone has no interest, if they're like, I feel completely fine, like I don't need anything, nor do I like care.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's probably how it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, oh man, we might have to edit this out, but we saw some clips of the Dax podcast with Bobby Lee.
Oh, fucking yeah.
And
Bobby Lee and
Santino.
Andrew. Wait, is his name Bobby Lee?
Yeah, it's Bobby Lee.
Yeah, Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino.
Where they asked Dax if he liked trains. And Dax is like such a nice person that there was no way that he was going to be like, bro, not cool.
Yeah. He's never fucking impolite.
Yeah.
Or like confrontational.
He just doesn't want to ruin anyone's day ever. But like, what a dickish thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, Bobby laughed. It was very obvious what they were trying to do. And I think they mistaked Dax's like niceness with naiveness. Like, that made me really mad. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because he's been blowing up recently, which is like, I think, because we've been seeing like the numbers like do well on Hot Seat. It's like a bit of a resurgence.
Oh, interesting.
Where like, yeah, there are some people who are like checking out very clearly because Dax's TikTok is popping off. So like, I don't know, in all of the like rushing to find like, a new quirky internet celebrity to like bring on your podcast and have like a fucking 1 episode thing with, it's just like, I think it needs to be treated with a little bit more care, like anyone that you bring on in that way.
Yeah.
Because you don't know who they are at all. Like, I don't like sometimes the first meeting being on a podcast can be fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like...
Here's my problem with it. I get mad when it comes off like, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but when it comes off like, they don't think that Dax understands why he's funny. Like it feels like they're assuming that he is like accidentally being funny and therefore should be laughed at, not laughed with. Like there's no like it's not like things that he's thinking out and executing, right? Like treating him less like a Andy Kaufman and more like a World of Shirts or something.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on the spectrum. And I feel uncomfortable seeing that, the clips that we've seen.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like 3 colleagues. It felt like they were bullying him.
Yeah,
basically.
there's a fine line.
Yeah, they were right on that line. I feel like Theo Von does a really good job of like staying on that line because he bullies himself.
You're right. There's a little bit more self-awareness.
Yeah.
And
whereas
he's
like
careful with some of the things that he says.
Yeah. They felt like they were just the popular kids being a dick.
Yeah.
Being dicks, basically.
Yeah.
Which I know is probably not going to be... I don't know, Dane. What do you think? Have you seen any of the clips?
No, this is the first time I'm even hearing that Dax was a guest on the Bad Friends podcast.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
But you're right. That to somebody who's like kind of more of a spectator, and it's easy, I think, to fall into this trap with Dax. Like, you assume that he is just kind of like accidentally being funny. But I think if those two hung out with him for like a few hours outside of the podcast, then they might actually see what we see, because we obviously have worked with Dax many times, that he like knows what he's doing to a certain extent. I mean, there are like serendipitous like mannerisms that he has that are funny, but like behind the scenes, Dax is always the first one to suggest like a bit or something, or he like whenever we pitch a bit to him, he gets why it's funny. He's like, oh yeah, that would be really awkward and weird.
Yes.
Like he's not like out of the loop.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's like there's a lot of comedians that do this. Like they have natural quirks that they lean heavily into for
right.
That's a great way
like,
of putting
added
it.
flavor.
Yeah.
Like almost all like,
Yeah.
and you see it in
It ends up being their most unique characteristic
Yes.
that makes them like a legendary comedian.
So a good example of that in the content creation space, in my opinion, is Tyler One, right?
Huh.
He's an angry fucker. He
Yeah.
just is. He gets mad at the game. But, like, he's aware that he's an angry fucker, and he amps it up, like, times 1,000,000 to make entertaining content, right? Like, Dax is aware that he can be awkward. He's an awkward guy.
Yeah.
So he amps it up times 1,000,000 when he's filming stuff. It's not, like, an accident.
Yeah.
It's, like, just being incredibly, like, self-aware. So when you have people who are, like, interviewing him for the first time or interacting or even consuming his content and knowing that they assume or it comes off like they assume that he has no idea and that almost like he's an object and they're deciding what's funny about the object.
Right.
That's what's
right.
upsetting
Okay.
to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like the do you like trains bit where to them it came off like they saw him as an object that wouldn't pick up on what they were asking or respond in what they view as appropriately,
yeah.
then they could laugh at his like non-reaction. Does that make sense? Or
Yeah.
his like, but the reason why Dax wouldn't say anything is because he's not a rude person. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I've had a conversation with Dax where he's made it very clear that he doesn't like people assuming that he has autism, asking him if he has autism. Like he's not comfortable. It's not something that he wants to discuss with people or thinks is even you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's like,
he's also just a very honest person.
yeah.
So, and I think some people have I think they've interpreted that as like an autistic trait,
Yeah.
where it's like you're not like playing things up. Like if he was curious what made like us laugh, like if he said something and we laughed, he would inquire like what made that funny or what are you laughing at?
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And I think more people should do that because it doesn't make you autistic or something. It makes you a curious and direct person.
And an honest, honest with yourself person. So like whether or not he has autism, doesn't have autism, you know, it's really irrelevant. It's just, it's weird that people use it as a punchline or even assume that that's why he's funny in the, it's just a weird, it's very uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. So
yeah, there's a certain type of person maybe who tunes into Dax's videos that like kind of think of him as more of a lol cow.
yeah.
But I think that people who are actually big fans of Dax know
Get
that
it.
he's a comedian.
Yeah.
Like he's always been a comedian since he was like 14, making
Yep.
videos where he talks about throwing his grandma in the pool and stuff. Like he's not like.
Sorry.
I mean, we asked him when we first met him if that really happened, and he's like,
No.
"Yeah."
Oh.
He was like, "Yeah, it did," but I over exaggerated how upset I was about it, basically. So it's like he does weird things because he's strange, but he knows he's strange, and he's like, I can exploit that for comedy.
It's also
And that's great.
It's the easiest thing. Like it's so much easier to have these characters based on your reality than it just being like all fake. It's all fake. If it's all fake, it fucking sucks ass.
Yeah, no, it has to be a little authentic.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, for sure.
He is very authentic for that because, I think that the best comedians take their real, like, insane thoughts and, like, expose them and amplify them. Like, that's why I'm just trying to think of, like, my favorite stand-up comedians, like Louis C.K.
Bill Burr, disgruntled old
Bill
man.
Burr. Yeah, exactly. He knows how unreasonable he's being whenever he's, like, he gets angry at like sports or whatever, so
Yeah.
he just like plays it up or whatever.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the best type of comedian. The worst types of comedians are the ones who are just like, hey, I went down to the bar the other day, and you can just tell it's like not a real story. They're just kind of like, I need to get a punchline out, and
Yeah.
this is like the best way to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a big reason why I think I personally, being a big fan of DAXFLAME, think that he's 100% just a comedian, a really good one.
Yeah.
And it sucks that there are some people who don't see that, but
Well, it sucks
you know,
two
I guess
comedians didn't see, like, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
it just, I don't know.
Well, also, I think some people forget as well. Like, Dax has written, I think, 3 books now.
They're so good. The one that
He
you
wrote
read.
3 books and like I think a couple scripts as well. Like, I've read I think 2 of the 3 books,
Mhm.
Ice Cream Man and then another one, and like that shit is funny.
Yeah,
like,
I know,
the
it's
whole
funny.
thing, and I'm like, you would think if it's like an accident,
Mhm.
then you know the books wouldn't have almost the same humor in
Mhm.
it, but it's the same humor.
Yeah.
And he's doing very similar things. It's
Yeah.
and it's varied too.
Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know. It might be some projecting as well from me. Like, the problem with the type of behavior that went on in that podcast is that, like, they could watch this clip of me saying this shit and being like, whoa, you're assuming a lot.
Right.
Hey, I didn't say any of that. And it reminds me of, like, when I was bullied in school. That's how I was bullied, was the way that those
Right,
two were
right.
bullying him, right? Which was like, pretend to be my friend,
Mm-hmm.
pretend, like, ask questions that only the two of them, they think only the two of them could get, make fun of me to my face,
Mm-hmm.
and then I find out later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so a really good example is, like, I had 2 friends that were girls that they were like, oh yeah, I think so-and-so really likes you. I think he really likes you. I think he likes these things about you. You should go up and talk to him. You should talk to him. And I thought they were my
Right,
friends. So I
right.
went up and talked to the guy, and the guy was like freaked out and grossed out. And then they're laughing at me. Like, they thought it was funny. Like, that type of energy, that's the type of energy, to me, that was going on in that podcast. Whether or not it was happening, whether or not I'm projecting, like, I'll acknowledge that, like, you know,
Right.
obviously I've had
Yeah,
experiences
it makes
like
sense
that.
that
but
it makes sense that you're a little bit more sensitive to it. For
Yeah.
sure.
It's
Yeah,
just,
you've
I
had
don't know.
similar experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the way I interpret it is, you know, these guys are trying to get essentially like a good bit out of Dax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I would actually say in many ways it's how Ethan worked with Dax when Dax went on Ethan H3's podcast.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, like there was a particular avenue that was funny to Ethan, which was like going down this Charlie Puth route, where it's like, oh, you have beef with Charlie Puth, like this is good content. And it's like, Dax is a nice guy. He found himself, and like as he reflects on it in the moment, he's like, oh fuck, I'm like, I don't want like Charlie Puth heat, and I don't actually hate him that much, like,
Yeah.
or at all really. It's been
Yeah.
years. So he like very reasonably rationalizes a lot of this shit in his head as he's going along. But you know, Ethan and I think other podcasters are just like,
They want to poke the bear
what's
to
the
get a
thing?
reaction.
Yes. What is
basically.
funny?
Yeah. Well, Ethan also did it to you on the podcast with Dr. Mike and Wasabi.
Right.
Dr.
Yeah,
Mike.
he wanted, yes.
He was calling Dr. Mike a pussy.
Uh-huh.
And we were so terrified at the time because if anybody was fucking hard to like make sure that all their needs were met,
Right.
it was Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike was the most difficult content creator with like asks.
Yeah.
So like going on the podcast and like Ethan being like, that guy's a pussy, we were so scared.
Yeah.
'Cause it was so hard to find someone who was willing to like fight Ian that was like capable
Yeah.
And-
And had numbers.
and had
Yeah.
numbers and wasn't asking for millions of dollars. So we were like, whoa, like we don't need to call him a pussy. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
we, at the time, like I was so scared that like Dr. Mike was going to call us and be like, yeah, that wasn't acceptable.
Yeah.
I don't want this type of publicity. This isn't the event I want to be in.
Yeah.
I really thought that was going to
Yeah.
But it makes sense because Ethan's running a show where he's not going to sit there and be like, so, what do you love about
know.
Dr. Mike? Like,
it's not. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so-
makes sense, and yeah, I'm definitely not like opposed to that like strategy. But yeah, everyone who's running a big fucking podcast, a big show, they
want entertainment.
Yeah.
Like entertainment, not like entertainment.
We can only hope that in 2 years we'll have that kind of mindset about this one. Right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
We just got like farm clips, get the bits.
But that's the thing, right? Is like it even seems like over the years, right? Like Ethan, I think has fucking found a couple of like grinds that he can do. Like if he wants to just embarrass some like red pillar, he'll just have him
Pearl
on, and then
Pearl
he's,
on.
There's been several people. It's like the fucking Myron and
Fresh and Fit
Coconut
was
Boy.
There was that young boy.
Oh yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the golden retriever white boy.
They don't think about this shit, so they come on very confident about their fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And then they're just left
talking to a full-grown
speechless.
man.
Yeah.
He's a full-grown man with 2 successful businesses, 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they're not equipped for that conversation.
No.
It's just like a dad.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to a literal dad.
Yeah.
Ethan has 3 kids?
He has 3 kids, yeah.
The heck? I thought he had 1 kid. What the hell?
Theodore, Sonny, and Bruce. Sonny's the most recent.
I only knew about Theodore. I didn't know about the other 2. What the hell?
Dane skipped a few chapters. Sonny was just born like a month ago.
I don't know.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He thought it was only 1.
But,
yeah, no, 3.
Yeah. Oh, so I think we should Buds, because I haven't read some comments in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's very interesting. Hey guys, future dentist here.
Oh.
Dentists frequently cut your frenulum in what is called a frenectomy. If the frenulums on your lips are too short, for example, they can hurt, prohibit movement, and even tug at the teeth and change their position.
Whoa.
The frenulum also has remarkable regenerative properties. That's why dentists not only have to cut it, but also scrape its deepest root right from the bone for it to not grow back like Anisa's apparently did after just cutting it as a kid.
That's why it grew back? I thought I'm not going to lie to you. I did think I had like a superpower.
Yeah.
I thought I had like regenerative abilities because I cut that shit.
Oh, so if my frenulum... because I can feel with my tongue very clearly the top one. Is there one on the bottom?
Yep.
I don't think I have one at the bottom.
You do.
I can only feel the one at the bottom with my tongue.
You have one at the bottom. What the fuck? You have one there, babe. Look at it.
You can see it?
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah. My goodness.
I don't see it. This one's like clear as day, I feel like.
Yeah, that one's clear as day.
There it is.
Yeah, sure.
You can
there
see
you go. Yeah. Okay, now flip your eyelids.
I can't do that.
Oh,
All the
man.
fucking little gangster kids could do that.
All the
in
kids
school.
did that. There was this one kid.
Wait, all the kids?
A lot of the boys would do that. And then there was this one Ethiopian kid who could pop his eyeballs out of his skull.
Is that an Ethiopian trait?
I don't know. He was just from Ethiopia, and he said, "I'm Ethiopian. I could pop my eyes."
I will
out of my
say
skull." That's
a good question, Ethan, because I've only ever seen black people do that. I've never seen a white guy do that ever. So I think that it's.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, white guys listening, try to pop your eyeballs out and tell me if you can do it.
I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, he would pop his eyeballs out all the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Can Ethiopians pop eyes?
Specifically Ethiopia. This country.
Why do
I don't think
we-
all of them can. I just think that it's very likely that they can, maybe.
It's in their genetics.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. That's crazy.
Comment if you can pop your eye out.
Comment
and
if you're from
comment your-
Ethiopia. and you
Yeah,
can
comment
pop
your
eyes
skin
out.
tone
Maybe it's
and your address.
maybe it's related. Maybe you can find it on like 23andMe,
Yeah.
like having a fucking alcohol flush reflex or have
Yeah.
asparagus pea or something.
Yeah. Also pop your eyeballs out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
Like, there's no way you could do that. Because that shit's in there.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you have a strong
That shit's in
brow.
there.
That shit's in there. That's not popping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I got any sort of eye muscle to pop that.
No, I feel like you could probably suck your eyes back into your head if you wanted.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, maybe I should start practicing that motion.
Oh, you just.
I don't even know what that would feel like doing.
What
It's not like your butthole where you can pucker it, you know?
Yeah, okay, I could do
Yeah.
that.
What if they started disappearing and then you started screaming and we didn't know what to do? Oh my god.
Stick your tongue out and do a peace sign now.
There's a
Stop, Dane. Why do you keep making my husband do that? Fucking.
It's funny.
there is a cool thing. I don't know if you can do it. I saw there were some kids in elementary school that could have their eyeballs fucking shake and rattle back and forth.
So I used to be able to do that.
Oh,
and I probably,
my God.
If I do concentrate hard enough, I probably could get myself to do it again.
Really?
Yeah, but don't put me under pressure.
Okay.
I'm under duress
Never
right
mind.
now.
Oh, duress. All right.
I think I used to be able to do it, but I feel like if I tried now that I might like hurt something.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
used to be able to do
Yeah.
that for real.
Like I remember very clearly that it felt like you had to like, basically put your body into like a pressure cooker state.
No,
That
not
didn't
pressure
feel
cooker,
great.
but you do have to stay very still. Like hold your breath almost.
Cool.
Dane's trying right now.
No, I'm not. I really am not.
Okay.
I'm too scared to.
Someone said, "Who's this big bearded dude?"
don't know.
That's maybe Dane. Maybe you're talking about
up?
Dane.
I think they're talking about
Just
me.
started and checked the chapter titles. I don't see any ombudsing. I hope I'm wrong. It's one of my favorite chapters. Well, it's here.
Do you want to tell them who I am? You didn't even tell them who I was.
Oh, Uncle Dane.
Yeah, but like, why am I here?
Oh,
To someone who is here because
he
clearly
plays-
that's asked by someone who
Right.
just watches because of YouTube.
No, you're right. He plays TF2. So if we have any questions about TF2,
related. Yeah.
we can
I'm
go
just
to
here
him.
on standby because it comes up a lot.
Like how much DPS engineer do level 2?
like 200 or 300.
What was that damn pocket watch that one spy character's always using? The sneaking fast?
The Rolex.
Rolex. Oh, yeah, Rolex.
What is my relation to you though?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Dane is a friend and a colleague.
A condant.
Not a confidant.
Confidant.
Not that. He's
our third lover.
He's our third leveler. He's responsible. Wait, let me go to him. He's responsible for the Ice Cream Man documentary, the Full Force documentary. He edits those. He's responsible for the Sam Hyde documentary.
Fully responsible for this.
Yeah. He takes full responsibility for that.
I take full responsibility for a lot of that. Yeah.
Including the delay in uploading
Yep.
it.
My bad.
And he's responsible for editing and production of the hot seat. So let's give a hand to Dane. Also, the reason he's responsible for all that is because we've played video games in the past and we're friends.
They're all in the same Discord.
Yeah.
That's how they met. Was Discord? Through
Skype.
Rajor?
Skype originally.
Did Rajor unite you? Who united you together? Donkey.
Mac.
Yes.
Oh, Mac.
Yes. And
Macklemore?
not Macklemore.
Oh, the
Shout
other
out
Not unless you gay,
Macklemore.
man.
Yeah, shout out Macklemore. The
Have
other
you seen
Mac.
that? Have you seen that video of Kyle Mooney dressed up as Macklemore, and the guy filming him comes up and he says, "Macklemore, can I get a picture?" And he's like, "Not unless you're gay, man." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Not unless you're gay, man." It's really funny.
That sounds funny.
I like that.
Have you seen the recent? Kyle Mooney's a like an SNL guy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Good neighbor stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think I recently saw the only. I shouldn't say the only funny. I'm being one of these like fucking haters. One of the only SNL skits I've tuned into or clicked on YouTube in a while, which was this Beavis and Butthead one.
Oh, the one with
Not Ryan Reynolds.
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
that one.
Mhm.
So fucking funny. Have you seen it,
Kyle
Dane?
Mooney. I haven't, but Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett are from Good Neighbor Stuff. I was very excited that they were getting on SNL because they were very funny on YouTube. They were like a huge inspiration for me whenever I was making like sketch comedy videos. They basically defined a lot of my humor of my upbringing. And yeah, everything that they do on SNL is funny. Like especially like they have like cut for time skits that are always cut for time, but I think they're just cut because they don't play for very well for a live audience.
Oh, okay.
And it's mostly just like their style of humor.
Oh, that's cool.
But those are always like the best SNL stuff. But anyway, yeah, Kyle Mooney's great.
Well, that reminds me. I don't know if we talked about it in the bog or not, but you're reminding me of, there was a specific website back in the day that actually was, I think, trying to be like a what was it? It was like a a curator of like sketch comedy troupes and like different shows. And that's all they had on there. I think I found, that's where I maybe even found Derek Comedy and a bunch of other ones. And I don't know what that fucking website was called. If anyone knows, leave it in the comments. It was the first time I was introduced to like Chelsea Peretti and a bunch of like comedians that are like really popular now. But yeah, I wish I knew what it was called. The only thing that pops in my head is Super Deluxe, but it wasn't that. It was a name kind of like that, though.
Black Sheep.
Balloon Shop.
No.
You ever watch Balloon Shop?
No.
You ever watch Homestar Runner?
Yeah. We've talked about this. I loved the Strong Bad Email stuff.
Same, me too.
And the Teen Girl Squad stuff.
Oh, right. Teen Girl Squad.
Anyway. Little tangent.
Yep.
Kid Vampire on TikTok. It's like this comic. This artist does like a bunch of different comics, but Kid Vampire is the one that most people know. Kind of reminds me of Teen Girl Squad. They have this one character called Tina. She's got her own offspin, and it reminds me of Teen Girl Squad a lot.
Someone said, Dax was on Bad Friends today. Made me wish he was still closer with y'all.
Closer. Like closer proximity-wise?
And then someone says, feels like everyone gets left behind.
We live in Seattle. He lives in L.A.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy for him to just drive over to their set, unfortunately, for us.
Yeah.
Not so easy.
Yeah, we had a falling out with Dax.
Yeah.
He refused. We started production of the third season of The Hot Seat, and on the first episode, he lost it like Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, and he started twerking like really aggressively.
Yeah.
And it created heat. And actually lit the building on fire.
Right.
So
I
now
know,
we
it was
can't
crazy.
film.
It was crazy. We were like, Dax, what's your dream guest? He said Doja Cat because I want to marry her. And we were like, okay, we'll get Doja Cat. We paid Doja Cat $20,000 to come on the hot seat. She came on the hot seat, and he asked her out, and she said no, and he threw a fit.
Yeah.
He started throwing. He had like the most crazy freak out I've ever seen. It was so unlike him, but I mean, we had to calm him. We had to calm him down, and he said, "I quit the show."
He said, "I quit.
I quit."
No, Dax.
I can't even imagine what that would look like.
I literally can't
like it just
imagine.
it doesn't even process in my mind what it would look like to see Dax screaming and yelling and angry.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever imagine Dax yelling.
I don't think he's raised his voice once in his life.
It reminds me of my dad. My dad never yelled ever. I can't imagine my dad yelling. Except for one time he yelled at me really loud. It really scared me. I was playing lacrosse. I was like 15, and it was my first time playing in a men's game. I was really nervous. I was letting every single ball in the net, and I just hear, "What the fuck are you doing?" I look over, and my dad's leaned over. His foot's on the fucking bench. He's just screaming at me, "Get your head out of your ass!" And that really did something to me. It scared the shit out of me. I'd never seen my dad like that before in my life. And I did. I got my head out of my ass. So
when you're a kid, there's nothing more scary than your dad mad.
Yeah. Especially when your dad's never mad. Because, like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah. It's a rare occurrence, even more so.
Yeah.
Someone says, if you guys want to talk to an ex-neo-Nazi who became a socialist/communist, I'd be available to talk on the podcast.
Whoa.
Also other things.
Also other things.
Yeah.
I think, once Ian, now that he's got legalized meth, what is
It's meth.
what do people? Yeah, once you've got the meth in your veins, I'm sure we're going to be able to streamline
Everything.
this to be more friendly for like remote guests.
Mhm.
So yeah,
I'm
we'll
also
probably be
bringing
able to
some
do that.
fucking fog machines in here and some laser lights as well.
Damn.
The bad side of legalized or legal meth.
Mhm.
Is it meth?
I think so.
It's not
Amphetamines.
meth. Really? That's
Yeah.
the same thing?
It's
Yeah.
chemically similar
That's so
from what
fucked
I hear.
up, man.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. It's not like,
Legalized meth.
it's not like exactly meth, and also like
Right.
you are. It's a controlled amount. You're
Mhm.
not like just shooting it in your
True.
fucking arm.
It's
True,
okay. It's
willy-nilly.
okay to have a little bit of meth.
Apparently. Apparently it's necessary.
For some people,
Apparently it's necessary for some people.
not for all. Not for all.
Well, that's implied with the sum.
To me,
Anyway, someone says,
Nerd emoji.
just a quick history lesson.
Mm.
I think this is related maybe to the... Oh, okay. I think this is related to your talk about Muslims and banking and shit.
yeah.
Just a quick history lesson. Banks were a thing very early in civilization, like easily ancient Grecian/Egyptian times, if not earlier. They don't operate in the same ways as today, mostly because of imperialism.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, banks were totally a thing in those times. The Quran was written/referring to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew it had to be that way because it's in the Quran. It's not the Hadiths are interpretations and word of mouth, like that was passed on and then eventually written down. Whereas the Quran is directly from God to like the Prophet Muhammad like wrote it from the word of God, like it was direct. So whatever was going on at that time had to have like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
banks had to exist in some regard. But you know what's fucked up about that is like when I was in art history, they teach you that the Medici family was the 1st banking family,
Right.
which is obviously not true.
Right. It's
So-
just a cute way to fucking phrase it, probably.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be the first in something.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it might be the first with like a
They
stipulation.
were the first rich fox.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well,
I
it could be
mean,
the first, exactly, like rich family, documented rich
Yeah.
family.
They
It's
paid
like,
for a bunch of art.
yeah.
So they're like very revered. I
Uh,
always think about when Casey Neistat Will Smith told Casey Neistat that
Right.
he's the Medici of YouTube.
Yeah. It was sick.
The Medici of YouTube.
Anisa looks like the mother of dragons in this ep.
That's so nice.
Does she look like the mother of dragons or the mother of Chungus right now? Looks like she's the mother of Chungus to me.
What's the mother of Chungus's the mother of dragons catchphrase from the show? I've never seen it.
I am Daenerys Stark.
Oh my god, she's here.
Oh my gosh.
Don't summon
Say,
dragons
I
or
love
something.
Jason Momoa.
He is my Drago.
Oh, that's fucking cool. That's eerie.
Yeah,
So
how
similar.
similar it is. No, it's funny because I got that somebody said I look like her, and then in the comments somebody said I look like a mix between Pee Wee Herman and Austin Powers. So I'm,
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
Your looks are subjective.
That's subjective.
You know, you can attach your own meaning to it.
Yeah, Ian's saying I'm looking chungusy because I feel like I'm wearing way too tight of a shirt.
When did he say that?
He literally just said I'm queen of Chungus.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that.
Well,
I
if
think-
you said like, "Oh, you're the king of fat people," what would you take from that? You'd be like, "I must be the fattest person because I'm the king."
All right, Chungus is the fat rabbit, huh?
Yeah, Chungus is the fat
Yeah.
rabbit.
It's hard to. It's
Oh,
become
no,
such a
it's
nothing
big
word now.
Chungus. So without
Yeah,
the
yeah.
big, it's just fucking Chungus is just like
It's just
goofy.
regular Chungus.
Yeah.
So, well, you could even say Chungus is Bugs Bunny because Big
Right.
Chungus is just bigger Bugs Bunny. So Chungus just doesn't mean fat; it just means Bugs Bunny.
Chungus is at its root chunky. Chungus. Big chungus.
Oh, could
I
it be
don't
a
think- that's
portmanteau of
I
chunky
think-
fungus?
I think so, or something.
I don't
so
think
you
so.
made
The
that
big-
up.
I mean, I didn't
no.
make it up. My brother did. I swear to God.
What, you think your brother is the inventor of Big Chungus?
I swear to you, my brother used the word chungus all the time when we were kids. I don't know if he spoke it out into the universe. I don't know if it's just like a word that can be grabbed out of our, like, made up in our lexicon. But I'm saying my brother called people chungus when we were growing up. To the point where when Big Chungus became a thing, we sent him the image and then we were like, oh my God, Big Chungus.
Interesting.
So I'm just saying.
Someone says, according to my research, if you were to somehow just hang from a power line,
My research.
you'd be as safe as a bird. But if you're climbing up the wooden pole to get to the wire and you touch the wire while on the pole, you could be electrocuted. However, wood
you're
is generally a
grounded.
bad conductor, so you might be safe even then. But it has just rained and the wood is wet. The water makes it more conductive and you could be electrocuted.
I'd like to believe that by his research, he means he was climbing on.
He did it.
Right,
Power lines.
right. He's figuring out in the moment.
He's
Yeah.
he's tried every configuration of it that he could until he got it zapped.
Someone said the lighting and color balancing of this show makes me mad at the internet.
It's got a lot of likes too.
What does that mean, though? I couldn't interpret that one. Sometimes the comments are too vague.
Do you
I'm
guys
like,
ever think maybe
is it
we're
a hater comment or is it not?
Well, did they ever just take into consideration maybe we're just fucking ugly? Maybe we just got
I don't
pink,
think. Hey, I don't think it's said anything about that.
I don't think
maybe we
about
got
that, yeah.
pink skin and fucking oily.
Color balancing. What?
We're just pink. You
It's
ever
just
think-
regular.
We're all
Yeah, it
pink.
just
Just
looks-
regular standard.
What do you?
I'm trying to look at it. I'm trying to erase my memory of
Uh-huh.
like what it looks like, and I think maybe they might be talking about the two lights underneath your guys' chairs are maybe a little distracting because they are very different from the rest of the
That's
room.
his
But
fart cloud.
Yeah.
yeah, but that's his fart cloud, so you can't even get upset about that.
Okay. Well, I have a solution for that. Which is a better vibe?
Okay.
Here, let me go here. That's ugly. More like that. That blue.
I do kind of like that better.
That's
oh,
better.
I think I do like that better because I think it just kind of has a better blending to the background at this point.
What do you think about this burnt oh. That's not burnt umber.
That's purple.
Not. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
It's nice.
Couple yellow guys.
Nah, the burnt umber's the best.
Do you like
No, it
burnt
looks like you
umber?
pissed.
Penumbra.
So no blue.
No, well, no, I don't know about that.
No.
No. Burnt umber.
Burnt chungus.
How about we attach a number to it and people can comment what number they like best. So this is configuration 1.
All right, configuration 1. Actually, just that would be too confusing, and I know some of you are actually going to do it. So just tell us color-wise what makes the most sense to you. Dane, I want to send you a roll of this wallpaper and a couple of little fucking trinkets so you can have like a fake wall behind you that makes it look like you're somewhere on the set.
I'm not going to do that.
I'm not gonna do that.
That's rude. That's rude.
You know what, Dane? That's what I respect about you. You don't roll over. You freaking stay firmly on your all fours, and I appreciate that about you.
I have two of those fucking green screens. I don't know where they came from because you said that you have one of those green screen things that you pull up.
Yep.
One of them. Okay, so I brought one here from Canada.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I think I bought one separately for here, and I think you probably have that.
I have 2 in my apartment now because I thought I had mine at the office, but then I brought it here and I put it in the closet and there was already one in there. I was like, where did that even come from? So yeah.
Very nice.
Anyway, I wanted to bring that up because I thought maybe it might be yours, but also I have a green screen thing to put up.
That'd be sick.
Sure, I guess, but
Oh.
like, what, you don't like my background?
We should
Like,
put
it's
you
just
on
my
the
apartment.
beach.
No. I do like your. I love your apartment.
It's
It's
beautiful.
whatever. Yeah,
It's
I'm
getting
not
the job done.
Yeah, I mean, I
like
just
it.
don't feel like it's. Yeah, it fits better with because it looks like you guys are just in your house.
Mhm.
So I'm in my house.
Yeah, it's grounded. You're grounded.
Yeah. What else?
I'll get electrocuted though because I'm grounded.
Mm.
Oh, someone we were talking or we were listening to viewer calls in the last one, and there was a guy wanting to get his nards tattooed, perhaps his shaft as well. And someone says to the tattoo guy, get someone else to call the shop and ask the questions you have. They'll never know it was you. They'll never know it was for you unless or until they say yes.
That's actually very smart.
Yeah. So I think.
Well, I don't want to throw a wrench into it, but I do wonder if because they know him so well, because he said that he's known them for 15 years, that if their general policy is like, yeah, we don't tattoo nuts, maybe they'd make an exception because they know him and they're like, you're a bro, I'll do your balls.
Such a good point. Yeah.
Not to throw a wrench in it because it is a good idea.
Yeah.
I think, right. But I think he does also have an advantage that he knows them pretty well. So.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if he eventually gets it and then he can like send in like a pic.
I know. I really want to know how it goes. Send us a pic of your leaping tiger balls.
You really want to see his tiger balls. What the hell?
Someone says, a couple of us stayed over at a buddy's house in high school and were introduced to Fight Club, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and American History X all in one go.
It's so fucking
cool.
Oh,
damn.
That's a badass night.
That is a crazy night.
Yeah.
I rewatched American History X with some friends not too long ago, and it is it's a good movie, but it's very
inappropriate.
Not inappropriate. Well, maybe. It's just like it's very funny because have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Like it has a lot of good things to say. It's just it like spends so much more time on him being a piece of shit than it does on his reformation.
Right.
And it seems strange because his backstory for being reformed is that he met a funny black guy in prison.
Right.
And that was pretty much all it took.
Right. And that was the turning point.
Yeah. I was like, that was like literally 2 scenes. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm completely reformed now. And I was like, why didn't they just, I don't know, spend a lot more time on that? Because that would be more interesting, I think, to watch. But
is that true though? Because it wasn't just that he met a funny black guy in prison. It was like he get fucking raped in prison and shit.
I haven't seen this movie, so this is like
So he
basically like I feel like it's just the going to prison is this realization of like, oh, this isn't like jokes. This is like reality.
Sure. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like getting sexually assaulted doesn't really have much to do with race.
No, it was more like his lifestyle, where it was like, oh, like more of a bit of a wake up call for where he's ended up.
Though, not knowing anything about this movie, being sexually assaulted changes everything. Like, so
it could be like a power dynamic that he wasn't even aware of.
Like just knowing that you're not in control, or what it's like to be kind of like held, you know. It's realizing that sometimes you're not. It doesn't matter what you do. There's no winning. You know, like that's a pretty like humbling. I don't know what the fuck this movie's about.
Yeah.
I'm just.
It's a good movie.
It's
it's
worth watching. Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I just think that like upon rewatching, I was just like, I remember this movie being a lot more about the reformation, but that only really starts to happen near the beginning of the 3rd act, and they seem to spend a lot more time on showing us how much of a piece of shit he was. And in my opinion, I mean, like, I think it's important to show how much of a piece of shit someone was to like see how far they go. But they really just kind of give him a lot of time to spout hate in the movie. And I think a lot of people probably rightfully criticize the movie for platforming it a little too much.
Yeah, it's like a little bit. Yeah, I get what you.
Yeah,
I get. Yeah, how that criticism can crop
Yeah,
up.
it's a little silly, but I also want to say, because obviously there are probably a lot of people who are fans of that movie. Him making friends with the black guy is not. It's oversimplifying it, but I realize. But it is just something that I wish they would have probably spent more time on.
Yeah. Well, specifically that relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's like a scene where like they're talking about what they're in for, and the black guy says that he got put in jail for like 6 or 7 years for dropping a television on a police officer's foot while he was stealing it. Like, it's like basically trying to say like he got an unfair sentence when like literally Edward Norton's character murdered a guy and he gets out in like 3 years or something.
Right. Oh, we have a response from one of the people who left the voicemail. It says, "Hey guys, I'm the movie recommendation caller, the one who is looking for movies for their client. I'm so glad Dane was here for the question and appreciate y'all for the answers. P.S. at Anisa, my client loved Scott Pilgrim. P.S.S. My wife and I are picking up our new puppy today as well, a beagle mix. Thank you guys for your puppy advice and convos." Thank you very much.
Beagles are so cute.
They are. Beagles feel like kind of the perfect dog.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I think of dog, I think of essentially like a hound dog.
Yeah.
And like a beagle is just kind of like a small little houndy.
They're super
type.
healthy. They're one of the most healthy breeds, them and Chihuahuas.
Interesting. Yeah. I hear they got loud barkers, though.
Yeah, they need to let you know where the fox is.
Oh, true.
Are barkers what people call like toes or feet or something?
Well, they say my feet are barking.
No.
Okay, that's what it. Yeah, they do say that.
My dogs are barking.
My dogs are barking.
Dogs
okay,
are barking.
My dogs.
My dogs are barking.
Somebody put a leash on my dogs.
Yeah. Subscribe to Patreon, you'll see the footless version of that, or the footless, no, the sockless version.
Have you ever looked at your wiki feet?
I have.
Is it good?
It is good. I'm happy with it.
That's nice.
Yeah, I wonder if it's been
arch.
updated. Wiki feet.
You have nice feet. I like
Ian Carter's feet. Oh, they haven't changed it. Oh, and your feet came up as well.
No, don't look. My feet are so gross, and I don't want to know.
No worries. What the hell?
I hate my feet.
Yeah, this hasn't been updated in a while.
I have like
still really solid. They got my shoe size down pat 11 US.
Oh.
Man, these people are sick with it.
My feet, just like a PSA. My dad was a thrifty man, okay? And when we were it's going somewhere.
Okay.
I played an expensive sport, which is hockey. So, one of the most expensive purchases that you have to make is skates, and kids' feet grow fast. So my dad would take me to it was called Totem Sports, which was like a used sports store, and he would just try to fit my foot into whatever skates were there. Sometimes they were too small, sometimes they were too big. The ones that were too small, okay, forced my big toe to go inwards, and now I have like my toe bones are sticking out on the sides, okay? So I know my rating is probably bad on there, but in my defense, it's because we couldn't afford skates. So you're a bad person if you say I have ugly feet.
It's weird. For mine, it gives me a number. For yours, it just says nice feet.
I don't have nice feet.
Nice
you guys.
feet out of 10.
I don't have.
It
nice
looks
feet.
like the rating is around the same as mine. So
really,
yeah, don't feel too bad about it.
I don't have.
I have a question for Anisa,
Mm-hmm.
and this might be a hard question because of your body dysmorphia, but I feel like it might be helpful to give you an opportunity to talk about this. What is your favorite personal favorite aspect of your body?
This is literally the scariest question anybody's ever asked me before in my life.
Well, let me start. I'll make it easy. I think you have lovely lips. I like a big set of lips, and yours look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. For a white woman, they are. They're on the larger side.
Nice.
They're short. They're short, but they're like.
Yep.
Like a little,
It's pretty legit. Yeah.
Like a kiss Pokemon or something.
I saw someone get a tattoo of like their partner's lips, and their partner like fucking had lipstick on, and they like kissed the side of their neck, and I was like, Man, couldn't be me.
Yeah, that's if you asked me that, I'd be like, absolutely not. I have an answer for you, Dane. I
was fully prepared. Oh, your clavicle?
Yeah,
I was fully prepared for you to move on and ignore it.
No, I had to think about it.
It's worse.
Okay. This area, and
Yep.
My clavicle. I love the word clavicle, by the way.
It's nice in I don't know. I think it looks nice, like clavicles. Like I have a defined clavicle, no matter what. It's not a weight thing.
I'm gonna be honest, Anisa. I'm gonna call you out right now.
What?
One of the first things I shared with you is that I love clavicles.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you did.
I said that to you.
Yeah.
I feel like you're stealing my personality.
No.
I feel that way. Feel very strongly because I was like, this is unusual, but I like the collarbone area.
Yeah.
I think it looks nice, and
I have a defined clavicle no matter what weight I'm at. It's not a weight thing. It's just I have a defined clavicle, and I like it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad
I
was able to share that with you, so you're able to better love yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad we have a moment where Anisa is confidently saying that she has a cool part of her own body.
And
we haven't had that so far. So
I have long legs.
We're not
like
naming facts, okay?
Yeah, I was.
You have to.
That's why I was laughing earlier. You were like, because Ian complimented your lips. You're like, yeah, for a white woman, they're pretty big. Like that's not, that's not your response. You're supposed to say thanks. I do have nice lips.
Oh.
You're just like, yeah, they are pretty big for a white chick.
It's funny that you caught the long leg thing because one of the things that I hate the most about my body is how short my upper body is because I have really long legs. Like I had this OCD series where I was obsessed with measuring my legs compared to my upper body and comparing it to the average. And my legs are fucked. They're like 3 inches longer than my upper body. And that's like, you're not supposed to be like equal.
Yeah.
But mine are like fucking. And when we stand next to each other, you're 6'1", 6 feet. I'm 5'6". Our hips are the same.
It doesn't. It's just so fucking irrelevant.
So fucked.
It's irrelevant to people who,
No, it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant for.
Objectively, it's irrelevant.
I will say, though, I watched this TikTok of these 2 girls, like same age. They were sitting down on a couch side by side. They were equal height.
Yeah.
It was crazy. When they stood up, one was like a foot taller than the other one.
Yep.
Because one had really long legs, the other had like a really long torso.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
It was so wild.
I wish I had a long torso.
Yeah.
So, but you always want what you don't have. So
true.
There's probably women out there that are like, I wish I had long legs.
Well, I was gonna say I was under the impression that women wanted to have long legs.
Well, so when you have a short torso, you don't have much of a your waist is shorter. So your hourglass.
Let's put it this way.
Which is fine.
What are Barbie's proportions? Not Margot Robbie.
I don't know.
Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie has insanely long legs.
Yes, but she has, I think, also a long torso.
Yeah, she's just long.
She's just tall for a doll in general, but
exactly.
I'm almost positive that her legs are like as long as the rest of her body combined.
Really?
I mean, well, legs are generally long.
I'm going from memory.
Your longest appendage.
Yeah.
Name a longer appendage than leg.
I bet your leg. Huh?
Wait,
I bet you your leg is as long as your arm.
What?
I bet you.
Are you stupid?
Damn, you almost caught yourself, but it still slipped out.
I thought your legs and your arms would be the same length.
No, I think you're thinking of that circle that they draw around the man who is the Archimedes guy or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that your legs are fucking.
Well,
short, or
okay.
your
Wait.
arms are as long.
Let me re-say what I was saying. I think your arm to the tip of your finger is the same length as like the top of your leg to your ankle. Not including your feet being straight.
Does this include, like, butt cheek?
No, not butt cheek.
Oh, okay. If we're removing butt cheeks, I might agree with you. No. I might agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
So
would be sick?
not stupid, just creative.
What would be sick, Dane?
That Archimedes drawing of the guy like spread.
By the way, I
eagled
just said
out.
Archimedes. I don't know who the fuck Archimedes is, so don't quote me on that.
I think he's a gargoyle.
What was that?
I think Archimedes is a gargoyle. No, I think you're right. I think it is Archimedes. Or no, it might be Da Vinci or something. Anyway,
I think I'm thinking isosceles triangle.
I think it's Da Vinci.
Some
I
guy.
think Da Vinci drew
Okay.
the
I think
man.
Da Vinci made it. Anyway, it's like a guy spread eagle in the circle. Everybody knows the image. That would be a cool like thing to get like imprinted on a frisbee.
Oh, I think it would be cool to get tattooed on the top of your head.
Yeah, the top of your head ain't that
The
round though.
No, that would
That
be
sucks.
very like stretched and weird looking.
Maybe for a particular person. Archimedes circle.
I think it's Da Vinci.
that's not gonna come up. I'm pretty sure it's Da Vinci.
Yeah, definitely not. But there is some sort of. I'm getting results. There's an Archimedean circle. That's a type of thing. Let's type in Da Vinci circle man. Circle man. Oh, I know
Circle.
this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I recognize that
Now
guy.
imagine that on a frisbee. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
cool?
That would be
You
cool.
throw it. You throw it, and your dog could bring it back.
Sorry, I'm just like I want to see if that exists already, or if you. No, it doesn't exist. Dane, you made that up.
I know. We
So-
should make that our first merch drop.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh. Da Vinci.
Wait, is that image copyrighted by Da Vinci Corporation?
Oh, probably not.
No,
We
it's
could use that,
yeah.
and we could. Oh, Mickey Mouse IP is up, so we could do frickin' Steamboat Willie doing Archimedes stance on a frisbee. We'll
So
get
stupid.
Disney heads.
Wait.
We'll
Wait.
Science heads.
So-
We'll get history heads. All to buy it.
The Da Vinci man, that works and is equal length because he's standing, so his feet aren't doing the pointy toe thing,
Mhm.
and his arms are splayed out. So I'm right.
I mean, the viewers can look up the image. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but sure.
I'm right.
You did say it loud, so
Yeah. No, okay, so
the
truthfully, when
louder
you look
you
at
are,
the image,
the more right you are.
The law of Ben Shapiro.
his head doesn't go to the top of the circle, so it's just creating a circle from his arms going out,
Yeah.
his legs going straight down, but his legs also being spread.
Yeah.
So it's not like,
He's not doing like a full snow angel.
yeah.
But are his
if that
toes
makes
pointed?
sense. I mean, they're not, but
That's what I'm
no.
saying.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't really prove anything. Because we have to know where the center of the circle is.
I think it's just nards.
I think it's this navel. Me personally.
Well,
thinks.
you know how like you can spin a frisbee on your finger?
Oh,
It would be right on the center of his nards.
You are obsessed with this frisbee idea, Dane. We're not doing the frisbee idea.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying that would be a good idea, and I'm right.
No. And if anyone's watching who decides
You
to
were
make
on board
that-
before. You were on board before. Why
was-
not now?
I was literally joking, and it was very obvious that I was
Oh my
joking.
God.
I have a new idea. Really fat dragon on the top of a hat, and the circle on top of is his belly button.
Wait, the circle?
You know, the little nub on top.
Oh, the little nub. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
his
of like
belly
a
button.
baseball cap.
Yeah,
Right.
He's a really fat dragon.
I was picturing like a yarmulke or something when you
No.
said that.
No, no, he's a really fat dragon, and his head will be the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're coming to the end of this podcast based on what we're working with right now. Thank you so much for tuning in.
How long is it supposed to be?
I started that one late. It's supposed to be about a minute or an hour,
minute
an hour and a half.
Comment 1 below if Ian was especially mean to me this podcast.
Comment 2 if you just couldn't be fucked.
Comment 3 if you're going to buy my new frisbee with the circle guy on it. Go to the link in the description.
Okay, I love that. We should end every podcast like trying to get people to vote for whatever we
Just
want.
whatever. Just something.
Cool. Follow us on Patreon. We have episodes over there. We have fucking all sorts of video games that are gonna go up on there.
Obscenities. Obsidian.
We're gonna upload a new schematic for Minecraft to how to make an obsidian axe.
In Da Vinci Code.
In Da Vinci Code, specifically. And if you like to see the Da Vinci twins on this podcast, we're gonna have them here, and they're gonna be displayed on the wall,
Floating.
on the wide. Yeah.
I just had a good idea. We take the frames, we put iPads in them, and so then we take a picture of what we have here already, and then it just disappears, and then boom, Da Vinci. In the frames.
In the frames.
And we'll bamboozle people. They'll think that it's just normal artwork, and then boom, the Da Vinci's are on there.
That's a good idea. We cut to the wine, we're like, whoa!
Like in Harry Potter.
Okay. I might do that with this new productivity hack that I figured out.
Yeah.
Might do that.
With drugs. Productivity hack is drugs.
I can't say it anymore because people are gonna think I have.
Demonetized.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you for watching. Hasta.
La vista.
Bulbul.